Welcome to another great episode of Real Estate Straight No Chaser. We're going to get the road trip edition because I am on my way back to Atlanta. Got caught in traffic during a pandemic. Who would have figured? So now I have pulled over. I'm on the side of the road. I found a parking lot with some shade, and I'm going to give it to you live, straight, no chaser today from my vehicle. I'm in the parking lot. So we're going to make this quick. So today we're going to do 7 tips to get your credit scores up. All right. And we're going to kick this off fast and furious so I can get out this parking lot and head towards home. Alrighty. Tip number 1, pay your bills on time. Lenders are going to review your credit report. They're going to look at all 3 bureaus and request your credit score from all 3 bureaus. And they're going to use the middle score from those 3 bureaus to determine what type of program they're going to be eligible for, which is a tip I hadn't told anybody before. All right, and based on your past performance, they're going to try to judge on how you're going to be paying in the future. So it's always good to pay your bills on time because they will be looking at that to kind of judge your future performance. Paying your bills on time will definitely positively influence your credit score and cause your scores to go up when you pay as agreed. Paying late or settling on your accounts will negatively affect your credit score. So you definitely want to pay them things on time because it definitely affects your credit score. And another little tip for you is lenders are going to look for 1 year from your last credit reporting late. So if you're paying late and you just turned over a new leaf today, you're going to need 1 year from today of no late payments. So be mindful of that. Tip number 2. Get credit for making your utility bills and cell phone bill payments on time. So if you're paying your utility bills on time and your cell phone bill, and you're like me, you got to if nothing else gets paid on time, your credit report, not your credit report, your cell phone bill gets paid on time. So take advantage of that and use that to get your credit scores up. We have the report for you. And there's an opt-in option that's just came out with Experian, that you can get your utility bills and your cellular bill reported on your credit report, which is a way to improve your credit score. All right, pay off debt and keep balances low and on other revolving credit. All right, we're going to take that in 2 parts. Your credit utilization ratio. And what that is, let's just say with all your credit cards, you have a $10,000 limit on all your credit cards. Then if you're using less than 20% of that, so if you use less than $2,000 on all your credit cards across the board, you have a great utilization history, saying that you're not maxing out your credit cards just because you have that ability to use that much credit limit. So the less you use, the better. You want to try to keep your overall utilization level of your credit reports at 20% on credit cards, at 20% or lower on your revolving debt. If you just have 1 credit card, then you want to keep that at a 30% of your balance or lower. So if you have a $1,000 limit, then you want to keep that payment or owe amount of under $300 if you have a $1,000 limit. So on 1 credit card individually, you want to keep it 30% or lower. Across the board with all your revolving credit, you want to keep it at 20% or lower. Okay? Like I said, let lenders know that you are responsible for your debt and you're not overwhelmed and debt heavy, because too much debt is also a bad thing too. Alrighty, apply for and open new credit cards accounts only as needed. So you don't want to just start applying for a whole bunch of credit cards just so you can have a better credit mix, because that probably won't help you. But and unnecessary credit stuff, pulling your inquiries, doesn't help either. So you don't want to go hog wild crazy and apply for everything. You want to apply as needed and don't overdo it. All right, don't close unused credit cards. Keeping unused credit cards open, as long as it's not costing you money for annual fees, is a smart strategy, because closing the account may increase your credit utilization ratio. So that's why if you don't have anything on it, if you're not being charged an annual fee, just keep it open, but don't close it, but make sure that balance is 0. Alrighty. Tip number 6. Don't apply for too much new credit resulting in multiple inquiries. We just touched on that on tip number 4, but tip number 6 is not applying for too much new credit, resulting in too many multiple inquiries. Depending on what you're going after, I know with mortgages, we don't want you to do this, but if you're shopping your loan, if you have multiple creditors or multiple lenders pulled it within the same time span, within a month or less, it's not too big of a hit on your credit report. But, like I said, you don't want to do that too much because inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. So you don't want too many inquiries, and you don't want to open up too much credit. Tip number 7. We're going to knock this out in 2 minutes or less today. Dispute any inaccuracies on your credit report. If you have, you want to pull all 3 of your credit reports from all the 3 different agencies, and you want to see what's going on each agency. If you have anything that's wrong on your credit report, now is the time to dispute them. Each credit report bureau, each credit agency has their own way of contacting them to dispute stuff that's erroneous on your credit report, and you want to deal with getting those things disputed if they're wrong. Alrighty, so those are my 7 tips. One quick recast of all 7 tips before I go and pull out this parking lot. Alright, tip number 1 was paying your bills on time. Tip number 2 was get credit for making your utility and cell phone bill payments on time. Tip number 3, pay off debt and keep balances low on credit cards and other revolving credit. Alright, tip number 4, apply for and open new accounts as needed, only as needed. Tip number 5 is don't close unused credit cards. Tip number 6 is don't apply for too much credit, resulting in multiple inquiries because they stay on your report for 2 years. And tip number 7 was dispute any inaccuracies on your credit report with the agency that's reporting the error. So those are my 7 tips on getting your credit scores up. Thank you for watching another great episode of Real Estate Straight No Chaser with Tara, road trip style. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great Sunday, and I hope to see y'all on the 3rd Sunday in July. Talk to you soon.